Hey guys, I'm just doing this quick review for Muscle Food on Facebook and Twitter. Check the description and you'll see it. Now, they'll be stocking this soon, all being well, and I've made quite a long video here, so to cut it short, it's absolutely delicious. It's really nice. If you want more opinions on it and a bit of butter and that spread on it, watch a video. But in short, if you haven't got time, it's lovely. You've got to try it. Hey guys, just had my first loaf of Dr. Zach's protein bread from Muscle Food, which you can find on Facebook and Twitter. I'll put a link in the description. Now, this is something new and something they've just started to stock, and I'm fortunate enough to get my hands on a couple of them, and I'm going to give some opinions on them. First off, obviously, it's protein bread. The main idea is that it comes with 30 grams of protein in just 2 slices. I haven't had bread for a long time, but when I do have bread, I have this Bergen and linseed, which you can see. So I'm not going to compare it just yet to white bread or anything like that. I'm going to compare it to what I have. It wouldn't make sense comparing it to white bread because I never have white bread. So is it going to benefit me, and what does it taste like, and is the price right, etc. So here we go, let's find out. Let's start by looking at the nutritional value, and I best tell you now that I'm not a nutritionalist. If you're a doctor or whatever, you can look at it a completely different way to me, but let's start by looking at it this way. As you can see, it's got allergy information, which is really important. It contains wheat, nuts, gluten, soya and nuts. It is suitable for vegetarians, which is something somebody asked me, so there's the answer to that. And you can freeze it, which it tells you. If you want to freeze it, freeze on the day of purchase and eat within 3 months. Obviously defrost it first. Right then, looking at the linseed and soya bread, the protein is, we'll look at it per 100 grams in case the slices are different. Protein, we're talking 16 grams of protein and 27 grams of carbs. On this one, we should have protein, we get 25 grams of protein, which is 10 grams more, but the carbs are less. And we got 3 grams of sugar compared to, where are we? On sugars on this, we got 5 grams. The only thing that I can see that sticks out of it is the fibre is 9.3 on the Bergen, and the fibre is 5.1 on the protein bread. And there's also a fair bit more salt in the protein bread. There's 1 gram in the protein bread, and there's 0.75 grams in the Bergen. So that's all the boring stuff out the way. Let's get it open, spread some butter on it and see what it's like. Right, here we go. There's the Bergen on the left and the protein on the right. For starters, the texture of the protein bread is a lot more like white bread compared to the Bergen, which is quite easy to put holes in, and that, as you can see, that's quite thick. Now, the reason I'll pick up on that is if you want a sandwich with something a little bit runny, like a piece of chicken for instance, I've noticed this bread, when you fold it in half, it literally rips into pieces, which is annoying. That's what separates that to white bread. With this one, it's nice, it's like white bread. That isn't gonna rip in half. It's got a lot better texture to it. Both of these made for a new pack, by the way, so you know, one's not stale and whatnot. Now let's have a taste test. Okay, I've had a nice little bit of that, and by far the Dr. Zach's protein bread, in my opinion, is much better than the Bergen bread, hands down. Okay, another important thing to me is spreading butter, or whatever you use. We use some healthy butter stuff. Yeah, anyway, the one on the left, the Bergen, it sort of keeps splitting when you put butter on it. Unless you warm the butter up a bit, you'll just make holes in the bread. The one on the right, you can be a lot rougher with it. It's a lot more solid, but it's still soft. Again, I'll compare the protein bread with texture to white bread. There's not much of a difference. It's been ages since I've had white bread, but so far I'm definitely impressed with the protein bread. Okay, so we've just done a quick test called the Kiddie Test and the wife test. which is see what they prefer out the two, and they by far prefer the protein bread. Obviously it's not for children, we're not going to give it to our children. I've just simply done it for a taste test to get somebody else's opinion, and the girls, well, all the children love it and the wife prefers it to the burger. So everything at the moment for us personally is a positive. Now the downside is clearly going to be the price. The price of burger is about £1.20 a loaf, where this is going to be close to the £4 or £5. Is it worth that extra? Do I eat enough bread to benefit? Possibly no. If it was around the £3 price, I'd more than likely be interested. Now some questions that are on the internet can be found on Dr.Zacks.com, and there's a lot of questions on there like, does it taste like normal bread? But at the end of the day, that question, clearly they're going to praise it up because they want to sell it. But as it stands, yes, it definitely tastes like normal bread. Regardless to what that says, I'm not even going to bother reading it. Shelf life, 8 days at room temperature, but you can put it in the fridge or you can freeze it. Artificial colourings and that, no. Who makes your bread? Okay, there's that there. What about carbs? Carbs are an essential part of any exercise routine. These are quite low in carbs and high in protein, which is the other way around to normal breads. The protein comes from pea protein isolate and wheat protein isolate, which gives 12 amino acids with 8 essential. Why don't you use whey protein? Because of when you toast it and stuff. In fact, I'm going to quickly make some toast and I'll be straight back. Okay, I've just made a quick piece of toast with the protein bread. Let's move that dirty stuff out of the way now. And it feels nice, it still feels squidgy. And we're going to have a quick bite of it now. Okay, that's good. That's very nice. I could probably eat this without even having to put anything on it. It tastes really nice. Bearing in mind I haven't had white bread for God knows how long. Oh, we've got a train. So I'm going to put some butter on it now, and we'll see what it's like with butter. Right, I've just spread it, and it's easy to spread, which is good because the burger is a bit of a nightmare to spread. The crust does taste a lot more like brown bread or wholemeal bread, is it? And again, it's lovely. It really is nice. Now, I'm trying to pick faults with it. The only fault I can pick is slightly high in salt, but I've had a look at several other brands of bread this morning, and they're all high in salt anyway. Or, I wouldn't say high, but I'd say that they're all around the same. I am trying to pick faults with it, as I say, because obviously it's what I'm trying to do. I don't want people wasting the money, but this is purely my opinion on it, and it's delicious. It really is. It's lovely. It easily take over that other bread that I've been having from the supermarket. One other thing that's really important as well, this bread will last up to about 8 days. It'll last a bit longer in the fridge. You want it to have a decent shelf life because you're paying a lot of money for it. The ones in the supermarket, if you get a loaf for 50p or £1, if that goes off, you can put it in the bin. It's not going to really cause you much trouble. But if you're spending £4 on a loaf, you want it to last, because obviously it's going to be a very expensive game. So if it can last for a week for £4, and you can have sandwiches every day, high protein sandwiches, absolutely perfect in my opinion. I've just counted one of the bags, and one's got 16 in and the other one's got 15 in, so we're looking at around approximately 15 slices per pack. Now what I'm going to do is, it's going to be a protein crisp sandwich, which sounds nice, which is going to obviously be a quick snack if you want one. So I'm going to spread these with a bit of butter, and then we're going to fold it over and do a test on that. Okay, fantastic, look at that. I've just noticed that the burger bread is about 1/4 of the size of this piece of protein bread. So, right, a fold test, because this is where it all comes down to. Right, one thing I hate about Burger is that how it splits all the way down the back, and then as you're eating it, it falls apart, and you end up with nothing. With the protein bread, it's the first time I've tried it. It's a bit awkward holding my phone. Look at that. That's how bread should be. It holds it in there nice. And if you bear with me a minute, I'm just going to eat that, and then I'll be back. Okay, it's time to wrap this video up. I am on board with this. I think it's absolutely delicious. It does everything I need it to do. It's a very, very quick meal. In fact, you can eat it dry because it's that nice. It's not actually too dry. It's just normal bread. Just picture a nice white bread, and it tastes just like that. I'm very surprised how nice it is. Very surprised. So there's my opinion. Try it. It's nice.